All right, so we got all this in. It looks really good. I still have a little bit of tweaking to do to get the menus 100% done, but I think with this last work order, we're going to pretty much nail out the rest of the buttons. So we need right here, which is the quit back to the hub world button. I was thinking about making this like a picture of like a house. That's a classic, especially in mobile games. That resonates, I think, with a lot of players when they see the home button. So we made this like a little picture of a house to represent the home, and then when they hover over it, they'll see that this is to quit back to the hub world. I didn't want to put like a little back arrow or anything like that because I didn't want the player to get confused and accidentally think that this is the unpause button, because this button will quit the game. And I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that has a problem with it and accidentally does it and complains about it. But it's just the name of the game, it seems like. So I want to convey that to the player that this is the quit button. It tells them that it quits. And so I think a picture of the house or a home will convey that well. Over here, this is the options button. Oh, and these buttons right here are 60 by 40. And then this is the options button. I was thinking about doing another classic symbol, a picture of a gear. I mean, a lot of people, that resonates with players as being the options button. And then, of course, when you hover over it, it'll tell you to change the sound and control options. And then we go into here. Now, these are the control buttons. These, I'm sorry, I forgot what the size is, but they're the same exact size as the perk icons. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4... I was thinking about maybe just doing like a little mini picture of a controller and then just having like the numbers under it. So this would be like a little, where my mouse is, a little picture of a controller and then number 1, a little picture of the controller and number 2, a little picture of the controller and number 3, and a little picture of the controller and the number 4, unless you have a better way. Just I want these are just different control options. I don't think we want to get crazy with like unique buttons. And then we're going to have down here, let's actually hold off on these buttons until we actually get into the sound, because I don't know, I probably should have these placeholders made up right now, but I don't. There's going to be 2 buttons down here, and actually why don't we just nail them out right now. It'll be this, we can probably make these buttons, these sound option buttons, a little bit bigger. Maybe we make them 60 by 40, like the same size as these guys. And there's going to be... sound effects. I'm going to try to do something different in this game. I don't want just like one overall mute button, because a lot of people complained about that. I want to do sound effects and music. So maybe we do, I don't know, what's common, what do most games do? They put like a... maybe we can do like a music notes or something to convey the music. And then for the sound effects, maybe you can even just do FXX, the letters FXX. And we need 2 animations for these and 2 animations for these. Sorry, I'm kind of getting all over the place. Going back to here, these buttons, on the other hand, do not need 2 animations. They do not need a blacked out animation because they're always going to be unlocked to the player. So the home button and the options button can just be just one, like frame like this bright, like they're already unlocked animation. Only need 1. These we obviously need 2. We need blacked out and then selected. As you can see, it's changing animations. So, I mean, and everything can have the same look and feel as all this stuff. I love these icons. I think that this really works well. I think it really matches the HUD. And, we're getting a really good, cohesive, art design with everything is really coming together. I think that it's got like a really cool cartoony kind of look, but it's also got this really cool, sleek, robotic kind of look, minimalistic kind of look to it in the user interface. And I think everything's coming along really nice. So these buttons are the same as the perk icons, and then we'll do 2 sound buttons, which will be the size of these buttons, slightly bigger because we have the room, which I'll like kind of put down here, and then when they hover over them, it'll have a little bit of description. And then we'll need one that has like maybe a couple pictures of the music notes signifying music, 2 animation frames blacked out and selected, and then the same with that. Actually, and I think that the blacked out, instead of it being blacked out, it should probably be, these should always be, like instead of having it like these ones where it's blacked out and then selected, maybe to make things even more clear, have both of the animation frames bright, but have the selected animation really bright, and then the non-selected, like if they wanted to mute it, have like a big red X over it, or maybe just like an X in the corner or something like that. I'd be curious to see what you thought about that, because it might confuse players if it was blacked out, whether or not it was selected or not. Having like a red X like in the corner, or maybe even over the whole thing, might be a better way to go about it, just to make sure that when they come in here, they know what's muted, what's not muted. And then when I have these buttons will have logic around it. I might even actually end up putting these buttons like easily accessible somewhere, like in the top right hand corner, just so they can at any point turn the music and sound effects on and off. They don't, but they'll still be readily available in here, but just so players can always have the options to turn the sound options on and off wherever they are in the game easily. Then we'll need one more button. This is just the back button. I was thinking about maybe doing like a little left-handed like arrow with maybe like a little swoop. See, like my, a lot of games have this like follow my mouse here, where it's got this little arc, and then maybe just like a little like arrow signifying that goes back to this menu. So let me know what you think about that. Oh, and then we need one more, actually two more. Then we need the back to the hub button. I think that this scene is pretty much all but done, except for this back to the hub button. And this can just be, and actually I'm sorry, the size of this I actually want to change. So everything's nice. I want to do this size. I'm sorry, I forgot I don't have the pixel size in front of me, but I'm sure you do. You can just work off these as a template. And it can just say, this can just either have a picture of the house on it, but since this button's a little bit bigger, it can either have a picture of the house so it matches this button, or it can say HUD on it. Hub. Players will get it. It's the only button that they can choose in this area. And unfortunately, I can't get back to the title, and I'm wondering if I should actually put an option to get players back into the title. I really don't think it's a huge deal, but I do want to do the start button. I'm only going to have one button on the title to keep things really simple and minimalistic. I'm not even going to have in this game, and this could end up, I'll make a change depending on whether or not players are complaining about it. I was thinking in this game, I think that I'm just going to have one button, and it's going to have 2 animation frames. It's going to have new game. Actually, it'll just have this. It'll have not even new game. It's going to say play and then continue. It can be this same size, and this will be on the title screen. Be this same size, and it'll just say, the one animation frame will say play, and then the other animation frame will say continue. I'm not even going to have a new game button in this game. I feel like probably 0 players ever restarted their game and saved to kill. These are upgrading games. These are games where people want to upgrade. There's really no reason to ever go back and start a fresh new game. But we'll see. If some people are complaining about it, then I will put a new game option in. But I kind of just like the idea of having the title screen really minimalistic. So like the very first button that they see, the only button they'll see on the front page, unless I do have some other kind of promotions on the front page, will just be play and then continue. And then it'll switch its animation frame accordingly. So yeah, that's the, we obviously don't need this button. That's not going to be in the game, the God button. So that's pretty much all we need, man. And that should wrap up all the buttons. And then once I have all the art figured out, I'll start tweaking everything. And then I'm going to just play test the hell out of this game. And then while you're doing that, we can start on the music. And the music, I really wanted to go back to the roots of Space Race and, use them almost as templates. I really loved a lot of those tracks. We'll probably do 2 tracks per world. So levels 1 and 2, world 1 will have 2 different sounds. So levels 1 and 2, it'll alternate. So this will be a song, then this will be a song, then this will go back to the first song, and then it'll replay the second song, and then there'll be one song for the bosses. So that'll be able to, each world will have 2 different songs to it. And I was thinking to make things kind of a little bit easier to get ourselves into the flow, I really love the music of Space Race 1. I'm not saying we should use those same tracks, but we can do like, you could do like remix versions of every single one of those tracks, which would give us, a really good jumping off point for like the first, I don't even know how many songs that game ended up having, like 5 or 6 songs. So, I mean, we could have a really good jumping off point to get kind of started. And then from there we can, we want to make that same kind of sound, that Mega Man soundtrack. And then we'll get the music in, and then we'll start on sound effects. All right, man, let me know what you think about this.